You know that feeling, right? When you're stuck, facing a really tough choice, and you just wish someone could tell you exactly what to do. Well, that's a feeling that's as old as time. And today, we're going to dive into some of the most profound ancient Indian texts, the Bhagavad Gita and the Puranas, to see their powerful answer to that very problem. Let's explore this path of action. So, our journey starts on a battlefield with a warrior named Arjuna, and he is facing a completely impossible moral choice. His confusion is just, you can feel it. Look at his plea here. He is overwhelmed, his idea of right and wrong is totally shattered, and he's literally begging for some clarity. Now, this isn't just some old story. This is the cry of every single one of us when we're lost and looking for the right way forward. When you're in a situation that tough, what's the first impulse? For a lot of us, it's to just do nothing, right? To run away, to avoid the choice, to just check out from the whole situation. And that leads us to this huge philosophical question that the Gita tackles head-on. Can you actually escape action? Is that even an option? To answer that, we really need to get into what these texts call the secret of action. And let me tell you, it's a perspective that's going to completely flip your understanding of what it even means to act in the world. Well, the Gita's answer is pretty shocking and direct. No, escaping action is impossible. You can't do it. The very forces of nature, our own built-in qualities, are pushing us to act constantly. I mean, think about it. Even breathing is an action. Thinking is an action. We are fundamentally wired to be beings of action. There's no off switch.
Okay, so if we can't stop acting, what about just faking it? Sitting perfectly still like a monk, but inside your mind is just racing, thinking about all the things you want, all the arguments you want to win. Well, the Gita has a pretty strong word for this, a hypocrite, or a mithyachari. It's a form of self-deception, really, because true renunciation isn't about just locking down your body while your mind runs wild. That's a total dead end. So, here's the crucial point. If we can't stop acting and faking it is just hypocrisy, what's the solution? This right here is the heart of the teaching of karma yoga. The path isn't to stop acting, but to completely change your relationship with your actions. Do your duty, whatever it is, do it as well as you possibly can. But, and this is the absolute key, you have to do it without being attached to the results, not to the praise, not to the blame, not to success, and not to failure. And this isn't just some nice-sounding theory. The text points out that this is a proven path. You have these great figures from the past, like the wise king Janaka. He's said to have reached spiritual perfection not by running away from the world, but by diving right into it, by doing his kingly duties completely selflessly for the good of everyone. So what happens when somebody actually masters this? What does it feel like on the inside? Let's take a look at the inner state of the ideal yogi, the person who has perfected selfless action.
The qualities of a person like this are pretty incredible. Their joy, their satisfaction, it all comes from within, from their own self. It's not dependent on external things. For them, duty isn't a burden they have to carry for some personal reward. They don't have any selfish need for anything or anyone, and that right there is what lets them act with true freedom and real compassion. So in the end, the reward for walking this path isn't fame or money or power. It's something so much deeper. It's an unshakable, profound inner peace, a kind of supreme bliss that, as the text says, abides in the divine. It's the end of all the striving and the beginning of just being. Okay, so we've been zoomed in on the individual's path. Now, let's pull the camera back, way back. Because the Puranas, this other huge collection of texts, they show us the giant cosmic stage where all of this action actually happens. What's really cool is that the Brahma Purana starts a lot like Arjuna's story, with a question. Here you see these sages, gathered in a forest, and they're asking the biggest questions you can possibly imagine. How did this all begin? What's our story? Why are we even here? The quest for wisdom is always the starting point. And in response, they get these amazing stories, like this one about the great King Prithu. The world is in a crisis. The earth has stopped providing for everyone. His duty, his righteous action as a king, is to act for the good of his people. So he compels the earth, which has taken the form of a cow, to provide for all of creation once again. I mean, this is karma yoga on a planetary level. When you see these two ideas side by side, it all clicks into place. You have the sages who are seeking wisdom, and you have the king who is performing his duty. The cosmic order, or dharma, needs both. It needs deep understanding, sure, but it also demands righteous, selfless action out in the world. So, let's tie this all together.
When we blend these two profound sources of wisdom, what is the core lesson? What is the essence of this eternal path that they're laying out for us?
This table really breaks it down. You can think of the Bhagavad Gita as the personal psychological manual. Act with skill, do your absolute best, but then let go of the outcome. And the Brahma Purana gives us the bigger picture, the social and cosmic context. A healthy world needs both wisdom and righteous action to be in harmony. Your inner journey and the well-being of the entire world are completely interconnected. And that brings it all right back home, to our lives. We might not be warriors on a battlefield or ancient kings, but we face choices every single day. We have duties to our jobs, to our families, to our communities. So the final question is really for you to think about. In your life right now, what would it mean to act with total focus and excellence, while at the same time letting go of your attachment to how it all turns out? What could that change for you?